Hello there, welcome back to Community StarCraft 2. I'm the host and caster for this game, and my name is Sidewinder. I'll be bringing you Game 3 of Sen versus MC. We can see this is on Xel'Naga Caverns, and Sen has taken the top right spawn location as the blue Zerg, and MC has taken the cross position, bottom left position, as the red Protoss. I'm really curious to see what is going to transpire in this game, considering the first two have been fairly unusual. Sen really favoring that Baneling drop style, which I don't think I've seen enough of his Protoss versus Zerg to know if that's normal, or if he's just recently adapted that. That style is getting a lot more popular among the pro players, considering the old Roach Hydralisk composition to try and deal with Protoss armies has really died out. So I really think that's effective. And if you're Protoss, it's kind of a headache to deal with if you let them get that established. You have to do a lot of micro and possibly just try to end the game before they can even get to that point. But we'll see what happens in this game, if Sen decides to go for that again, or if MC is able to push him into something a little more unusual, or rather less standard, versus what has been going on in this series so far. Sen opting to take his spawning pool first, which is very smart, considering if you go for a hatch first, it's so risky. MC could just really open 2-gate, put on some pressure, and make you waste any economic advantage that you had there. So Sen going for spawning pool first. He's not taken his gas yet, which is a little strange. He now takes it kind of late, but nevertheless we'll see how MC decides to react to that. You can see the second pylon going down for MC. And Cybernetics Core should be coming up here as soon as MC has the minerals for it. But you can see, no, this is a little odd. He's delaying his Cybernetics Core so he can get a couple of Zealots out. So I've seen MC do this before, but not against a Zerg that has not expanded yet. And he is rallying his Zealots to a strange place, as we can see here. He might actually be aware of where this Overlord is going to be and trying to hide the extra Zealot. So Sen is not turned on to this pressure, but MC really is creative with those first 2 units or so out of his gateways. He now knows the Zergling count on the field, as you can see from this probe, and I'm curious to see when these Zealots are going to move out and if he's able to get any damage done. MC's now scouting around to possibly look for this Overlord, but he should be able to see it now. Okay, now he does. You can see it just pop into his vision as soon as I let go of that key. MC trying to save this probe, trying to get it back home, and he actually might. He may have to pull one of his Zealots to get over there to try and stop those Zerglings, but now that the Zerglings are scattered and there's nothing at this watchtower, MC is just waltzing his Zealot up there, and if you can force another pair or 2 of Zerglings out of Sen, which is going to need at least 4 to fight this Zealot. There's now even more Zealots. There's 3 Zealots on the field right now, so MC just going for a quick 1 gateway pressure play, as you can see, and it looks like he's showing expansion already. So this is a very cool play out of MC that I think a lot of Protoss players could adapt to. He's going to force 8 Zerglings out of Sen, which he really doesn't want to produce right now. He'd rather just produce drones as he gets this expansion up. It's now going to be 10 Zerglings, and if MC is able to stutter step micro these Zealots, he will be really getting some very good cost efficiency out of these first 3 units. There's now Queens on the field to try and deal with this. MC needs to engage off creep. He's just going to run in this back hallway and either leave the fight or just try to re-engage. There's now a bunch of Zerglings out, and Sen already going to knock down the rocks at his gold. MC is now going to be throwing down his Nexus at his expansion. We see more Zealots here that are running down, trying to get back home and not get surrounded by this, so MC needs to be kind of careful. But one strange thing, and one thing that I actually think prompted all this, as we see the Zealots getting surrounded, that's pretty bad out of MC to lose those for the cost that he put into that, not really get very much out of it except for put some damage on this hatchery. He did force a lot of Zerglings out, so that's good, but that's really bad to get those surrounded there. He may have actually gone for that, considering he did see either a very late or no gas out of Sen, thinking he has a larger window in which Zergling speed will not be done before he gets some damage in. Here's the next stage of tech out of MC, which is going to be a Twilight Council, which could be for Dark Templar harassments, or it could just be for a quick blink play once he gets his expansion saturated, but we'll see what he wants to do. Sen now starting to get into that heavy drone mode. You can see on the income tab that Sen is up by about 9 workers right now, and that should remain a little bit in Sen's favor for a while, up until MC is able to get this Nexus rolling. As you can see, it's not fully warped in yet, and Sen knows pretty much everything that's going on here, as he does have an Overlord and some Zerglings that we're poking in here and there to scout. Here comes the Dark Shrine now, so it is going to be some Dark Shrine, or rather Dark Templar harassment. Sen still poking away at these rocks, should fall in the next little bit, and considering he's pulling a drone, it looks like he wants to take that gold really fast, which this could backfire on him, considering he does have the evolution chamber up, but he does not have his lair done. He does not have any spore crawlers out right now, so if he's caught really off guard by this, he may actually lose this hatchery, considering MC already did weaken it. So this could be this could have been done on purpose, to come in here and damage this hatchery with the intention of going Dark Templars and eventually killing it. We can now see some spore crawlers coming up here, so that's going to put a quick end to any sort of Dark Templar harassment that MC might have wanted to do on that hatchery. And again, this is a very important series here. Whoever wins this series automatically wins $25,000 and can win another $25,000 for winning the finals if they get that far. So this is a very, very big match right now. Here comes some Zerglings trying to get in here, and Sen overcommitted on those just a little bit and didn't really do any damage. More roaches are now out, as we can see. There are a couple of Dark Templar warping in here from this pylon that can reach the low ground. So MC's going to get out there, see what he can do. He could actually stop this hatchery from building if he knew it was there, but he's going to go ahead and go around to the natural of Sen, and I think that's what his goal was just to try to kill that hatchery now that he knows it is weakened. But I don't think he's going to be able to get it. So what MC may be trying to do here, or I guess not, I was just going to say he may be trying to just keep these units occupied so he could get his Dark Templar in there and kill that as soon as he can. Look at the reaction time from Sen. Pulling his drones, not even taking a single hit from those Dark Templars on any of his drones. He only took 1 hit on the Spore Crawler, so that's just fantastic reaction time out of Sen. MC is now in an awkward position. His harassment didn't do anything. Sen has been able to freely drone for quite a while. Sen's gold is up and it's now mining. You can see that MC just doesn't have a lot of units on the field. He hasn't made probes for a little while now, so MC's really falling behind and needs to be kind of careful as far as how he approaches the next stage of this game. But I almost feel like he's just so far behind right now that something dramatic needs to happen for him to get back into this game. Dropping is again on the way for Sen, so it looks like that's a mainstay for his Protoss versus Zerg. And he's going to be, or at least MC's going to be knocking down the rocks here. MC is not producing workers, so I don't know what his next stage of this is going to be. He is researching Blink, but going for some sort of Blink timing right now is really going to get shut down pretty easily by Sen now that he has a lot of roaches on the field. There's going to be a Baneling's Nest that's going to be done before MC's pressure ever arrives. The Overlord is now puking up creep to prevent that Nexus from coming down, as we can see here. Again, MC's Dark Templar is spotted and there's an Overseer chasing it, but it did turn the wrong way, as we can see MC's Dark Templar running away, but now it's going to get caught. Down it goes. Yeah, again, MC just feels so far behind right now. Supply doesn't really show it yet, but I still think that Sen's ability to freely drone and again have his gold mining for so long has been a huge advantage. Look at this, 27 Banelings morphing. He does have Overlord dropping research, and 4 Overlords are ready to accept those Banelings. Here comes MC's pressure. +2 is about to finish in about a minute, so MC's here a little early. Some force fields here really need to go down, and down they go. That's great force fielding. Here come the Baneling drops. You can see dropping on top of the Zealots. They're not doing as much damage as you would normally like, but these force fields are about to wear off. There's a bunch of Banelings ready to rush in. As we can see, MC needs to throw out more force fields. Look at those incredible force fields there. Here comes another drop, but it does very minimal damage, so MC's actually dealing with this pretty well, considering the kind of position he's been forced into. This Stalker awkwardly blinks up to the top of this, which I don't think he meant to, so he's standing on the edge hoping that he can get back down. Pathogen Glands is on the way. As we can see, the Infestation Pit did drop here during the middle of that battle. This Stalker does blink down, so he's rejoined his friends. Here comes another advancement from NC to try and get this hatchery down, but I don't think he has the firepower to do this right now. There's a big surround on there. MC needs to be really careful with this and not lose any stalkers if he can help it. There's now sentries going down as they work their way to the front. MC's just not looking too great this game in terms of his position at the moment. He's trying to do whatever he can with these blink stalkers, but Sen just has too many zerglings, too many banelings, and now that MC has no force fields, anytime these banelings advance, he just needs to run away. And if you're constantly running away, you're not going to get enough damage done. Here comes another pretty big surround with zerglings. MC's just not doing any damage at all right now. Sen is holding this off wonderfully. Sen is also taking his 4th base, which you can see how confident he is in holding this off. Just taking a hatchery during the time the pressure is here. +3 is about halfway done for MC. He hasn't really shown his next stage of tech yet. He does have a robotics down, but so far it's just been for observers. It hasn't been for any sort of Colossus play or anything like that, which I think if you rely on blink stalkers for too long, you're just eventually going to die. Here comes a big baneling drop here. MC's going to see it, but I don't think he'll be able to stop it, considering he's going to have to deal with these zerglings instead. All the probes start to evacuate. There's not many probes with this expansion anyway, but a couple of banelings dropping on top of here will deal with it. Nice blink there by MC to use the stalkers to eat that baneling damage instead of letting it blow up on these probes. Zerglings are now retreating. MC is doing pretty well for himself, and it seems like he does this all the time. He'll be in a really awkward situation and kind of roll his way out of it. He's doing okay staying in this game right now, considering how far behind I felt he's been the whole game. +3 is now done, and he's it looks like his next stage of tech was well, I guess I was expecting to see a Templar archive somewhere that I missed, but I suppose you can morph the Dark Templar into Archons anyway. But now that there's a lot of roaches on the field, these Archons aren't going to do much. There's also Infestors out, as we can see, with the Passage and Gland upgrade, so he's going to have a lot of fungal growth to work with, and fungal growth in combination with banelings is really bad for these stalkers. Here comes the drops once again. You can see MC is evacuating his probes out of there. He's probably going to lose this Nexus either way, which is a terrible position to be in. You just can't be everywhere at once. Here come the big baneling drops here, and they take out a nice little pack of stalkers there in the middle. MC is really scraping by right now. I don't think he's going to be able to hold the rest of this off if Sen is able to reinforce properly. There's 24 Zerglings on the way, as we can see. I think the Archon actually died among all that as well. Down goes a whole bunch more of MC's units. As we can see, all these stalkers are trying to do their best to stay in this game, but MC just doesn't have the firepower right now to deal with this. There's now a bunch of Dark Templar being warped in, which should actually clean this up pretty well, since Sen did not bring any observation with him. He did leave it over here. MC, nevertheless, still has to quit out, so Sen takes a 2-1 lead in this series, which I think he's actually a pretty big underdog in this series right now, considering MC is so good. And Sen doesn't really have many big tournament placements. He did do okay in the GSL in the time that he was in there, but he still is just a player that doesn't play in a ton of tournaments. He doesn't participate very much in the GSL, considering he lives in Taiwan and not Korea. So it's kind of hard to get a read on how this matchup is going. But nevertheless, Sen takes a 2-1 lead. He may be able to close it out here in Game 4, which we'll move straight into. Join me for that in just a second. I'll see you then.